A baby in a basket. In the land of Egypt, centuries after Joseph's death, the Israelites had multiplied greatly. What had once been a refuge had become a prison. A new Pharaoh who did not remember Joseph saw the Israelites as a threat. Fearing their growing numbers, he enslaved them, burdening them with hard labor. But the more the Egyptians oppressed them, the more the Israelites multiplied. In desperation, Pharaoh issued a dreadful command. Every Hebrew baby boy was to be thrown into the Nile River. In this darkness a child was born to a Levite couple. They saw he was no ordinary child, and for 3 months they hid him. But when they could hide him no longer, his mother prepared a papyrus basket, coated it with tar and pitch, and placed her baby in it, gently setting it among the reeds of the Nile. Miriam, the baby's sister, stood at a distance, watching. It was then that the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe. She noticed the basket and sent one of her attendants to retrieve it. Opening it, she saw the crying baby and was moved with compassion. "This must be one of the Hebrew babies," she said. At that moment, Miriam approached and offered, "Shall I get one of the Hebrew women to nurse him for you?" The princess agreed, and the baby's own mother was brought to nurse him, paid to care for her own son. When the child grew older, he was brought to Pharaoh's daughter and became her son. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water." Thus began the life of Moses, a Hebrew child raised in the palace of the most powerful empire on earth. A prince among slaves, Moses grew up with privilege. He learned the language of kings, the strategies of war, and the customs of the Egyptians. Yet within his heart stirred the cries of his own people. One day, as a grown man, Moses went out to see his fellow Hebrews at work. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. Looking around and seeing no one, Moses acted. He struck the Egyptian and killed him, hiding the body in the sand. The next day he tried to break up a fight between 2 Hebrews. One of them said, "Who made you ruler and judge over us? Are you thinking of killing me as you killed the Egyptian?" Fear flooded Moses. His deed was known, and when Pharaoh heard of it, he sought to kill Moses. So Moses fled from Egypt to the land of Midian. There by a well, Moses defended 7 daughters of a Midianite priest from hostile shepherds. Their father, Jethro, welcomed him into his home, and Moses married one of his daughters, Zipporah. Years passed. Moses became a shepherd, tending the flocks in the quiet wilderness of Midian. The Egyptian prince had become a man of the desert, far from the cries of the enslaved, but God had not forgotten his people. Their groans rose up to heaven, and the time of deliverance was near. The burning bush. One day, while tending the flock near Mount Horeb, Moses saw something strange, a bush that was engulfed in flames, yet it did not burn up. Curious, he approached. Then a voice called from within the bush, "Moses, Moses!" "Here I am," Moses replied. "Do not come any closer," said the voice. "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." Moses hid his face in fear. God said, "I have seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cries. I am coming down to rescue them, and I am sending you." Moses trembled. "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" "I will be with you," God said. Still Moses questioned. "Suppose they ask me your name?" God answered, "I am who I am. Tell them, I am has sent me to you." Moses protested again. "What if they don't believe me?" God gave him signs: a staff that turned into a serpent, a hand that became leprous and was healed. But Moses still resisted. "I am slow of speech and tongue." Then God said, "Who gave man his mouth? Is it not I? Now go, I will help you speak." Moses pleaded, "Please send someone else." The Lord's anger burned, but he relented. "Your brother Aaron will speak for you. I will teach both of you what to say." So Moses returned to Egypt no longer just a shepherd, but a chosen deliverer. Let my people go. Back in Egypt, Moses and Aaron went before Pharaoh. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says, "Let my people go, so they may hold a festival to me in the wilderness." Pharaoh laughed. "Who is the Lord that I should obey him?" Instead of releasing the Israelites, Pharaoh made their labor harder, commanding that no straw be given for brickmaking, yet demanding the same quota. The Israelites turned on Moses. "You have made us a stench to Pharaoh," Moses cried out to God. "Why have you brought trouble on this people?" God answered, "Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. By my mighty hand he will let them go." Then began the plagues. One by one God struck Egypt. The Nile turned to blood, frogs covered the land, gnats and flies swarmed, livestock died, boils afflicted the people, hail shattered the crops, locusts devoured what remained, and darkness covered the land. Each time Pharaoh hardened his heart. Finally, God warned of the last plague, the death of every firstborn in Egypt. But for the Israelites, God gave instructions. Sacrifice a lamb and mark your doorposts with its blood. That night the angel of death would pass over every house marked by the blood. At midnight death swept through Egypt. The cry of sorrow rose from every Egyptian home. Pharaoh summoned Moses. "Go," he said, "and take your people." After centuries of slavery, the Israelites were free. Through the sea to the mountain, the Israelites left in haste, their bread unleavened, their hearts filled with wonder and fear. God led them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. But Pharaoh changed his mind and pursued them with his army. Trapped between Pharaoh and the Red Sea, the Israelites cried out in terror. Moses said, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm and see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today." God told Moses to raise his staff over the sea. The waters parted, forming walls on each side. The Israelites crossed on dry ground. When the Egyptians followed, the waters closed upon them. The mighty army was drowned. On the other side, Moses and the people sang praises, "The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation." They journeyed into the wilderness. Water was scarce, food was lacking, but God provided manna from heaven, water from a rock. 3 months after leaving Egypt, they reached Mount Sinai. Thunder rumbled, lightning flashed, a thick cloud covered the mountain. The people trembled. Moses ascended the mountain. There God gave him the 10 Commandments, laws to shape a holy nation. From a basket in the Nile to fire on the mountain, the journey of Moses had only begun. But through it all, one truth rang clear. When God calls, he equips. When he sends, he goes with you. A legacy in the wilderness. Moses would go on to lead the Israelites for 40 long years through the desert, a journey filled with rebellion, miracles, and mercy. He struck a rock and water gushed out. He interceded for the people when they built a golden calf. He saw God's glory pass by in a cloud. He received the law not once, but twice. Though Moses would never enter the promised land himself, he stood atop Mount Nebo and saw it from a distance. And there, with the wind blowing across the mountaintop and the land stretching before him, Moses died as the servant of the Lord. His strength undiminished, his eyes undimmed. His story is not just history. It's a testimony that God uses broken people for divine purposes, that wilderness seasons are not wasted, that when everything seems impossible, God makes a way through fire, through water, through faith. Just as Moses led a people out of slavery into a new identity, we too are called out from fear into courage, from bondage into freedom, from wandering into purpose. And now it's your turn. Call to action. If this story moved your heart, take a moment to reflect. What is God calling you out of? What is He leading you into? Let this not be just a story you heard, but a truth you carry. Like this video if it spoke to your spirit. Subscribe for more Bible stories to inspire, comfort, and guide you. And if you're listening before bed, may your rest be deep and peaceful, and may your dreams be filled with God's promises. Share this with someone who needs hope. And let the story of Moses remind us all, no matter where you start, when God is with you, the journey is holy. Good night, and may the Lord bless you and keep you.